anytime that you play a team that applies the type of pressure that UCF does and is going to press you the entire game, it's going to turn the game into a series of runs. And that was clearly evident tonight with the way they started and frankly the way they finished the game. And in between we had our share of runs, but certainly not enough. And when you play a team like UCF, there are no moral victories because they are one heck of a basketball team. They are very well coached. They run very good sets and they run things that are your weakness and they attack your weakness. They scout well. That's a very good basketball team. It's a very good basketball team. And so I don't have any sort of moral victory. I like the way that we are trending. We're getting a little bit better. We built this schedule to be an NCAA tournament team, and we're not there yet. But I like the direction that we're going. But we've got to get some wins, and this is a game that we really needed this win. Didn't happen, and we're still not shooting the ball well enough.
Their matchup zone and their high ball screens were two things that seemed very, very prevalent throughout the 40 minutes. You mentioned it being a runs, but it seemed like it was hot and cold with you guys as well handling that. How did you feel you guys handled that for the 40?
When they run their ball screens, their posts are very good at rolling on top of you. They were able to do what they wanted to do, and what that is they were able to get in the lane and take 15. They're the queens of 15-foot jumpers off the dribble, off of power, which is side pick and roll, and they were able to do that. And I didn't think they would hit that many shots. They were very consistent and shot that 15-footer coming off the pick and roll at a very high percentage. And kudos goes to them because we did everything we could to try to get the ball out of their hands, certain people's hands, and to force them east-west rather than north-south. Wright, number 2, had 17 at the half and finished with 21. We certainly did not do a good job on her in the first half, a much better job in the second half. But again, no moral victories.
They went, I believe, 5 for 7 from 3 in the first half, and then they only took 1 3-point shot in the second half. Was that you guys daring them to take those mid-range jump shots? Was that them posing will? What would you classify that as?
No, we want them to take threes. We wanted to drive them out of the lane, keep them out of the lane as much as possible, and try to kick the ball out. The thing is if they get into the lane, they're able to elevate over you. And then, from an offensive rebounding standpoint, they got critical, important offensive rebounds at really critical times, and we didn't. And that's where I'm disappointed in our team more than anything. We have to get those rebounds. We have to be more aggressive, and we were not. And that's why we're not an NCAA tournament team right now. Until we get those rebounds, until we face up when we catch it in the middle of the zone and we're really aggressive instead of having the ball stripped from us 3 times, we're just going to be okay.
Looking at a couple of the advanced statistics, you guys were 4 for 13 on layups in this game, and only 2 of your players, maybe 2 of your players had a positive plus-minus today. What would you attribute both of those factors to?
I don't know about the plus-minus system. Whatever that is.
4 for 13 on layups.
I haven't seen it today. We drove it hard in the first half, and we didn't get a couple calls that I thought were there. And, Amanda Kalin was taken out on one, and the kid was vertical. And I just thought that kind of allowed us to shy away a little bit from driving it as much. And then, again, a game of runs. We went back to it, and we started driving it, and we had great success. We got to the fourth quarter, and their pressure and their length and quickness bothers you so much. We were ball faking, but then the pass that we made was a very poor pass. It wasn't to the shooter's pocket. And so when you don't pass the ball right to the shooter's pocket, it allows them to recover and get out and be able to defend you. And so if we could pass the ball better, to the shooter's pocket. If we can pass the ball and then catch the ball cleanly, we could have had a lot more looks. And we didn't do that tonight. In terms of the layups, I don't know. I'd have to watch the tape.
When Chas makes that three to give you guys the lead in the third quarter, again, obviously a game of runs, but obviously besides holding the lead, what are you looking for from a veteran group to try to maybe even the game out, and why did that not happen?
Well, this is where our veterans have to start making shots. Our veterans have to start making shots. We can't have people be 2 for 12 and 5 for 14. They've got to shoot the ball better. It's that simple. And we're not. We've got to find a way. That's as players and as coaches. We've got to find them better shot opportunities. We might have to play some different people. We may have to change lineups. But we can't win and be successful when Chas and Utah are 7 for 26. You can't be. They have to shoot the ball at a higher percentage. And then, Kadri finishes with 12 rebounds. But I want Kadri and Paige to come up with more than that. They have to come up with those key rebounds late. That's why we're not an NCAA tournament team. That's what I'm going to keep going back to. If we want to be an NCAA tournament team, we're going to get those rebounds. We're not going to allow the ball to be stripped from us 3-4 times late in the game in the middle of the lane. And when our shots are not going down, we're going to drive it down somebody's throat and make the referee blow the whistle. And we did not do that. We did it in the first half, especially the second quarter. You take away the first 3 minutes of the game, we did that for 16 minutes of the first half. And then in the fourth quarter, we went away from it.
And this was something I know that you echoed in the post game, especially against both Texas schools, just trying to get shots or trying to get to the line. The fact that this happened again with the veteran group means what to you?
It means my veterans need to start playing like veterans. They need to make shots. They need to not get stripped. They need to rebound the ball. I mean, again, we are playing against very good teams. UCF, Texas, TCU are all going to be in the NCAA tournament. That's not an excuse, though. We have to raise the bar as individuals and as a team and as a coaching staff to reach that point. And these are all correctable things. We need to get in the gym a little bit more and make shots under duress. We've got to pass the ball better to shooters, which we did not do tonight, and that's a big thing. And then sometimes it just comes down to wanting it more. And I don't know, maybe that's a reflection on me. I don't know. But we've got to want it a little bit more. We've got to have a little bit more of a nasty side to us. And I don't think that we had that tonight. And maybe I'm to blame for that, but we've got to have a little bit more nastiness to us. It's got to become more of a street fight.
And you said this was something that you were looking to fix with maybe not necessarily as much of a timetable, and here we are in mid-December still with the same timetable. What are you looking for a timetable to try to correct these issues?
Obviously, once you get to conference play, you want to have your issues at a minimum. It's an everyday process, and to steal one of Harbaugh's line, Jim Harbaugh, however you say his name, 1% better every day. I told the kids in the locker room, I do believe that we are trending upwards. The things that I've highlighted here that I've kind of railed against our upperclassmen about are things that are correctable. And there's good things that happened also. I thought Utah took big shots tonight, and I thought she got hit on several shots, and we didn't get a call. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Kadri had 12 rebounds and 4 blocks. Those are all good things, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We need a little bit more. And as I sit here and I kind of ramble a little bit, I really think that we have to understand it's going to be a street fight. And we got a lot of really good people, really nice women. And we got to figure out how to get a little bit of a nastiness to us.
For you personally, how tough has this season been for you in some respects, given the expectations that you've put on this team?
The expectations don't mean anything to me. The pick first and all that stuff, and, us, the NCAA tournament or bust. I'm more concerned about how we play on a daily basis, and are we getting better? And in a lot of facets, we are getting better. The shooting is not where it needs to be. The other thing, the toughness and being a little bit nasty is not where it needs to be. I'm not going to lie, this has been a very tough year. We've had some injuries to key people, and then we've not performed up to our capabilities. And some of that is us, and some of that is the teams that we've played. I am certainly in no way worried. I'm not worried. Everything is correctable, but what we've got to do is we've got to get back in the lab, and it's got to be an everyday thing where we correct those errors, and I've got to hold them to the fire. Practices are maybe a little too nice. Maybe we need to go a little bit shorter and just be absolutely nasty to each other. And I'm going to be honest, as a coach, that's hard for me to do, because I love those kids to death, and how do you teach nastiness? I'm going to have to read up on it, because I think there's some ways you can do it, but I'm obviously not doing it well enough. We got to be a little tougher. Thank you for supporting women's basketball. I appreciate you being